I'll start by saying I don't think that there was a right answer. I truly
That's
don't.
fair.
When we looked at the end of the night on Saturday and we saw where we all netted out, there was no right answer. You could look at 1 through 7 and say everybody has an argument as to why they should be there, why they deserve to be there, and what they did to get there. And it all makes sense. Everybody's argument is valid. Their feelings are right. And they probably should be there. And if we had the extended playoff this year, it'd be no issue. We'd be A-okay. And this is just further evidence as to why that is going to work better in the future than 4, because we truly have 8 teams, at least 7, if not 8 teams that I'm looking at that could be contenders for a national championship, or at least deserve the chance
A
to play,
chance. Yeah.
a chance to throw it out there. My qualm is Michigan. It's like you said, we know the cheating happened. It's not a question of like, did they cheat? We know they stole signs. It's there.
Which
How
technically isn't illegal though, Jessi.
The way they did it was illegal.
it's rough. They don't deserve to be there to me. They're taking the chance away from a team that didn't do questionable things to get there. And I'm not saying that that's on the players. Absolutely not. But unfortunately, the coaches and the coaching staff and the adults in the room, they are the ones that ruin it for everybody, that ruin it for the kids.
Right.
And they're the ones that have to be held accountable. And how do you hold them accountable? You take away their ability to play for a championship. That's my opinion. I have an issue with Michigan being there. Because then say they win, this all means nothing. And that's just really frustrating.
Yeah.
Washington, yeah, I'm excited to see that. I think that's exciting for them, knowing that their conference is now bye-bye. Maybe they can win one for a conference that's now going to be obsolete.
There's 2 teams in the top 4 that are leaving their conferences for greener
Yep.
pastures next year.
Yep. Texas, I get it. I mean, I do. I think it's interesting to me, like, obviously, Texas beat Alabama, of course, but I'm saying, like, everyone's frustrated that Alabama took a spot away from FSU, but would you have wanted FSU? Why not FSU at 3? Like, everyone's like, FSU should have been 4. Why shouldn't they be 3? I'm just not seeing the argument of like Texas versus FSU. Not saying it's not valid against Bama. It is. But I think it's interesting that you're not seeing that as much. Alabama. Obviously, everyone's up in arms. I get it. I get the frustration. I certainly get it if you're a Georgia Bulldog. I certainly get it because you have an undefeated regular season. And for teams that don't go and play in their conference championship,
It's a punishment.
Yeah, it's a punishment, right? And for Alabama, it was a benefit. And for Georgia, it was a punishment. I get why you're mad. I hear you. And you have every right to be pissed off. You did not benefit from that. To the naysayers about Alabama, I hear you. Obviously, I am thrilled we're there. I'm biased. I'll be the first to tell you that. I don't hide that fact. We took off the number 1 team in the nation that was on a 29-game winning streak. That's got to count for something. Again, it's in a conference championship. I understand that it punished them and it benefited us. I'm just saying. Again, FSU, that sucks. That sucks. I hear you. You're continuing the Florida It Sucks song that UCF started singing years ago. Get it. And that's not great. I think based on what I've read, the committee's reasoning for this was they wanted the best 4 teams in the country and they wanted the best football that they thought possible. Now, I don't know that some of the best football possible doesn't also lie with UGA being there. I don't know. It's tough. And I am really glad I was not on the committee and had to make this decision because I could have been convinced 7 ways to Sunday on a lot of these teams, and there just wasn't enough spots. At the end of the day, this is the last time anyone's gonna have to deal with it until
We hope.
next year. We hope.
Gonna be arguing about number 12. Hopefully not quite as big of an argument,
but you never know, because now the new argument's going to be, well, who should get a first round bye going forward? Who should be at 4? Who should be at 5? But again, I guess it won't matter quite as much as, hey, you don't even get a chance to play for a national championship. You have to settle for an Orange Bowl bid against a team who's probably going to stomp your guts out.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, and I guess that's the thing. I'm honestly, I'm looking at, and if you want to get conspiratorial, we can. You've got a team from every portion of the country playing in these games.
It's almost like TV plays into it, huh?
So, and again, I'm not saying that has anything to deal with it, but
I'll say it.
You are getting some, if not the best of the teams across the country playing for this. Again, I'm not saying someone deserves to be there more than the others. Unfortunately, we hit a time in football. There were a lot of good programs. And we got to watch a lot of really good football. And the unfortunate, side of that, the double-edged sword of that, is not everyone gets to go to a national championship. And, Bama could get there and we could get our brain smashed in, right? I don't know, but I think my issue is going to remain with Michigan.
Yeah. Michigan didn't look too happy to find out they were playing Bama in the first round.
They did not.
Did you notice that?
I think they were hoping it was
Did you see that reaction? They were like, "Oh God." So
it was like it was like an initial reaction of "Oh no," and then it was like they realized cameras were on them, so they're like, "Yeah."
That was funny.
Good answer. Good answer.
I wonder how old Khaki Pants is gonna. That's good, but that'll be a good game. Hopefully, they don't play it on New Year's Eve or whenever they. Remember last year when they were playing crap on New Year's Eve?
Day.
Is it New Year's Day this year? Okay.
Yeah, New Year's Day at.
People want to go out and have beers and hang out with their buddies on New Year's Eve. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah. So I think it's been a good run for the committee, but now everything will be decided by ChatGPT. So
don't give them ideas.
That's a shout out to my buddy Andy. That's his joke, and we were talking about it this weekend.